Hey, it's Eric Carlson. I hope you're having a really great day today. And I want to welcome you to the 4 must-have life hacks. This is our video series that goes along with the ebook that you just received. And it contained within these video series is going to be a breakdown of each one of the life hacks, plus a bonus at the end. I'm going to show you something very, very cool in lesson number 5. Now, these 4 must-have life hacks are really critical to really creating, not just making money online, but really to creating a life and a lifestyle that you want for yourself and for your family. And you see, I didn't understand most of these when I was going through trying to make money online for 10 years. When I was trying to make money online, I was really just trying everything out there. I had no mentor, I had no leadership, I had no guidance, and so I was really bouncing off of every type of product and service and trying to put everything together. And the reason that really was is, first of all, and this is going with lesson 1 today, I didn't really have a vision. I was just, for my life, I was just wanting to make money. You know, I knew I wanted to do things, I knew I wanted to travel, and ultimately, really, I was stressing out about bills and money, and I didn't want to work the job I was still working at, and so my whole goal was just to make money. And so what did I do? I spent 10 years, as you well know, 10 years in the industry, banging my head, trying every type of product and service, and until I ran across my mentor a little over 2 years ago now. And when I found this guy, I hunted him down. I'm like, I want to live like this guy. He's making 7 figures a year. He's traveling around the world. He's having a blast with his friends and family. I got to learn from this guy. So when I finally got to this guy and I finally said, hey, I've seen your videos. I've seen what you're doing. I want to be a part of what you are doing. I want to make money like you do. Well, he sat me down and he said, listen, let's have a conversation about this. He says, Eric, because if you don't have a vision for your life, if you don't understand where you want to go, I can teach you every traffic, I can show you every traffic source, I can show you how to build funnels, I can show you how to find good offers to promote. But if you don't have a crystal clear vision about where you want to go in life, you're going to fumble. You're just going to stumble over from one product to the next product, and I think they call it shiny ball syndrome. And we're really just out trying to make money and trying to save ourselves instead of like trying to build a long-term business inside the industry and have a vision for our life. So he said what he wanted me to do, which I'm going to pass on to you directly, is that he wanted me to get crystal clear about the vision I wanted, how I wanted to live my life. Not just that I wanted money, but what would I do with that money? What would my life look like? Who would I be with? Where would I live? What kind of things would I be doing? Driving, traveling, etc. So same practice we're going to put you through today. He had me sit down and come out with a vision, what my life look like in 3 years, and 5 years, and then 10 years down the road. And then there was a 20-year big goal. Now at first when I sat down, I knew some things that I wanted to do, like I wanted to travel and I wanted to live like the surf, beach lifestyle. I knew I wanted that, but I never kind of got concrete about those ideas. So at first it was a little hard, it was a little stumbling because I didn't really have much vision for my life. And you may go through this when you sit down and do this process. That's why I tell you this, because most people in our life are really bombarded by so much information, so much media, so much just, you're on the internet, you've got so many things coming at you all the time that we really forget that we, first of all, how to dream, dream big, outside of the job and the 9-to-5 lifestyle. A lot of people have really kind of gotten that beat in their head and they don't realize there's a whole nother way of life. And so, sorry, there's a little noise out there distracting me. So it's really important to sit down and start getting crystal clear about your vision. So don't worry about if you stumble at first and you can't really think of what you want to be doing 5 years from now, but we're going to show you how to get clear about that. So I sat down and he had me write out my 3 to 5 year vision for my life and start working on this process that you're learning today. And let me tell you something really key about this. Once I started to get crystal clear about my vision of exactly how I wanted to live my life, things really started to shift and change. And I don't know what your spiritual beliefs are. You understand that we live in a quantum field of infinite possibilities and that really anything is possible and you can create anything in your life and that you are the direct creator and attractor to everything that's happening to you in your life. Wow, once you really start to understand that, you can start seeing magic. Like I say, the universe is winking at you. You'll start seeing almost magic unfold, because what happens is you have a vision and the vision pulls you forward, okay? Even between that vision and achieving your vision, you're gonna work on individual goals that you may or may not achieve it all the time, working your way towards the vision. But it's okay, because you have your big vision that's pulling you forward, and that is absolutely so critical. Let me tell you a little bit about how this works, okay? First thing you want to do is go ahead and get a pen and piece of paper out. Now remember, do this module before you move on, because everything stacks and builds on top of itself. And then ultimately I'll show you exactly how to apply this to making money online. Now, And again, like I said, you can use this to not just making money online, but to really achieving a life that you desire. You can apply it in different areas. If you actually do apply it in different areas of your life, you're going to see things change. So first thing I want you to do is sit down and write out your vision for your life. Let's start here. So for the next 3 years, and the next 5 years, the next 10 years, we'll keep within that parameter for you. What does your life look like? I mean, what does your house look like in 3 years or 5 years? Where are you living? What part of the world are you living? What's it like when you go outside of your house? What kind of stores do you shop at? What kind of people are you interacting with? What's your family like? What are your friends like? What is your daily, this is a big one, what is your daily routine like and feel like to you? You know, are you out of that job, and are you waking up and just waking up and like having the day to do whatever you want, knowing you have enough money in the bank account? What does it look like? And not just look like when you write this out, but what does it feel like? So I'll explain a little bit about that in a second, but get crystal clear and write out these things, okay? What kind of car are you driving? What kind of house are you living in? How much money are you making every single month in your bank account? And what does your life look like, okay? So write those things out. Now, when you write these things out, we're going to talk about a visualization process here. I want you to be able to feel what it feels like to be living that. Not just, yeah, I drive a Range Rover. I have a 4-bedroom house with a view of the ocean. My friends are cool. I travel to Thailand. You know, those are great. That's where you start at. But what I want you to do is get those things written out. I want you to get in a state of feeling what it feels like to to live that experience. So once you have all these things written out, I want you to incorporate this process every day. And I have to tell you that when you come to my community or you work with any type of leadership of any type of, especially within our group, we have some really top mentors and leadership here who every single one of them will tell you that things I'm teaching you here that took me years to learn how to actually just kind of put it all together is the absolute way that everybody has achieved their success, and there is no way around this process. So I'm very clear about that, okay? Now you've written out what your life looks like. Here's a visualization process. I'm gonna show you how I apply it to my life and why and how it works so well. So here's what I would do. You have your list of what your life looks like, and first of all, you're gonna keep it next to your bed so you can look at it when you wake up in the morning, you can look at it when you go to bed. And when you look at it before and after you go to bed, I want you to feel what it feels like to be living that experience, okay? In the middle of the day, maybe when you wake up before you get your day going, that's how I like to kind of anchor my day. And I like to sit down and visualize and kind of just quiet the mind. So what I would do is I'd sit down, this is how I did it. I'd sit down and I start visualizing the experience I want that was on my list. And I'd breathe, and I'd just breathe deep, and I start feeling what it feels like to have that experience. And as I was having that experience, I would just keep feeling it. I keep adding and feeling more and more and more, and feel what it feels like to be living the vision that's written out on your piece of paper, okay? And that is so critically important. I really hope you understand that. Let me explain to you a short story of how I apply it to my life and how I have dozens of stories. The people around me kind of laugh and go, there's another one of those things Eric just falls into. It's really wild, but it's not wild because I understand the creative my reality and I have the ability to create just like you can do, okay? So I started applying this back early in 2004. I competed in my first competition. Back then I was a motivational speaker, personal trainer, and just an average guy. I wasn't doing much of anything, right? I mean, I'm doing motivational speakers stuff and speaking for corporations and doing empowerment training. And at that time, I was practicing this information. And so I decided, you know what, to prove to my audience, to all these corporations who were hiring me to come train their people, and then the live seminars I would do for self-empowerment training, I wanted to prove that the technology, I wasn't just speaking the technology, but that I could actually live it and prove it to everybody. So I decided to pick one random, very hard thing that I thought was hard and see if I could apply this technology and actually if I could produce some good results. So mid-2004, I was kind of looking for something to do that. And all of a sudden, a light went off. I was going through, I think it was a newspaper, and all of a sudden there's a big full-page ad for this like Muscle Mania bodybuilding fitness competition. And I don't know what it was, but it jumped out at me, and I was like, wait, wow, if I could win that, I bet I could prove that I could win the technology. And remember, at this point, I had never done anything like this. I was a vegan, I weighed 172 pounds, I was pretty skinny, and I'd never done any bodybuilding or bodybuilding competitions, anything like that, not even close. So that was something that would be very hard for me, or learn how to actually get on stage and be what's called stage ready to look your finest. I didn't know any of that stuff, zero. So what I did was I decided, you know what, I'm going to enter that competition and I'm going to win that competition. I'm going to prove I can do it by visualizing myself doing it. So what happened at that time? I wrote out my vision, I started visualizing the experience happening, and I even got so far as cutting out magazine pictures. And this is a very funny story, maybe if we have time in this video I'll tell you. I cut out a magazine picture of the body I wanted, of a guy, Men's Health, and I was like, you know what, I want to look like that guy. He kind of had brown hair, and and he kind of had similar body, so I was like, I'm going to do that. So I put that pin that up in my bedroom, and I would look at it every single day. Not only did I look at that every single day, I would sit down and I would visualize myself winning that competition. So this is how clear and how you do this. I would sit down on the edge of my bed and I would start visualizing myself, and I would listen to the announcer in my head. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2004 Musclemania Bodybuilding Model America champion is from Los Angeles, California, Erik Karlsson. And I would do that over and over in my head for 3 to 5 minutes, sometimes longer, depending on how I felt. But I would visualize myself, and I would visualize what it felt like to win that award. I would visualize the audience going nuts, and the crowd, and the people giving me my trophy. I would visualize that whole thing, like really viscerally, like I felt it. So then I'd come out of that visualization, and I'd be like pumped up. I'd feel amazing, I'd feel great. I'd either go to the gym or go do whatever I had to do for the rest of the day. But that's how I did that. I did that every single day up until the competition, okay? So all of a sudden the competition comes around. I go down to Anaheim, California. I've never done anything like this before in my life. I went all by myself because I was so nervous. I had studied how you get on stage and how you get properly tan and how everything gets put together. So I studied and learned how those processes work. I go down, I check in a hotel all by myself for the weekend. I know nobody there. I'm about to compete against like 150, 200 guys on stage. I know zero people there, zero people in the industry. So the night before, I visualize it all happening. I do my shave down. I shave all my body hair for the first time in my life, really crazy. Get on stage. And the competition's here, it's coming down. There's now 5 guys. They broke it down 20, 10, and then now we have 5 guys left to win this competition. I'm one of the top 5 guys. Standing on stage, arm to arm with all these guys, and all of a sudden they go down 3, 2, and 1. They go, ladies and gentlemen, your 2004 Musclemania Bodybuilding Model America champion, Los Angeles, California, Erik Karlsson. And it was so crazy, and you can actually see it in the video. I kind of like stumbled because I'm not sure if I'm sitting in my bedroom visualizing me having that experience or if that is actually happening right then and there. Once I realize it's actually happening, I have like this wash of energy floods over me because I realize I just proved that I could sit in my room, visualize an experience, and then someday walk into it. And all the little micro goals were in there. All the micro goals were there, like get up to 200 pounds, which I did, reduce body fat, get tan, learn how everything worked together. So I had all my little micro goals, but then I lived my ultimate vision on that stage. It was awesome, it felt great. Not only that, I applied that and I applied that again and again and again, and I went out and won the Model America champion, that was that competition, Model Universe champion, world title championship, world's best ads, and then I was featured on magazines all around the world, Ellen DeGeneres, TV shows, news channels. I was blowing up, and within 2 years of using that technology, that process, something I knew nothing about, I was considered one of the top 5 guys in the health and fitness industry. Top guys being shot, that means the top 5 guys being shot, put in magazines around the world. All why? Because I started the visualization process and the visual. Okay, and I had all these little micro goals all the way. So that's how powerful this really is for you. And you want me to tell you something really crazy? You remember that guy I told you about that I cut out of the magazine and put up in my bathroom so I could see that every day and was like, I'm gonna look like that one day? One day, after being in competition, I started getting a name for myself. I was being invited to Hollywood to meet with a celebrity doctor up there to go out to dinner with a large group of people, fitness celebrities. I was honored because I was being invited to something that was like, these are the elite. So I was sitting at the dinner table. As I'm sitting at the dinner table, I kid you not. So there's this person coming in, this person coming in. I'm like, wow, that's so-and-so, and that's so-and-so, and that's so-and-so. These are all big name people, you know, and here I am, like, wow, this is crazy. Well, there is, you know, everybody's sitting at the table, and there's an open spot sitting right next to me as it goes around this table. All of a sudden, come walking in that door was, I kid you not, the guy whose picture I looked at every single day and wanted to become. What happens? That guy comes in and sits down right next to me. Right next to me. I'm not kidding you. I turned, I was like, this is absolutely nuts. I told him his story. He couldn't believe it. We've been friends ever since. We see each other in the industry, and it's just mind blowing. Not only that, one more of those little stories during that competition. I was studying a guy named Clark Bartram's book, like how to be a fitness model, trying to put all those things together. One day, after I won this competition and I was starting to get a name for myself, I'm sitting there in the back reading some more notes from this guy's book. All of a sudden, I get a call from down the hall from my girlfriend. She says, Eric, somebody's on the phone for you. His name is Clark Bartram. He's, I don't know, a fitness guy. He's asking for you. I'm like, no freaking way. I'm reading Clark's book. I'm sitting there reading that book. So that's how powerful this really is. This is what you can do for yourself in your life. So get crystal clear about your vision. Decide what it is you want in your life and how it looks. How much money do you have? What the houses do you look at? What house do you live in? What part of the world do you live in? What does it look like, your daily routine? Who are you hanging out with? Your friends and family? What does your life look like? Write it all down. Get crystal clear about that. Then sit down 3 to 5 minutes every single day and visualize yourself living it and feel what it feels like to be living it and doing that for yourself, doing it for your whatever it is you want to do. Feel it out, visualize it, and get very crystal clear about that. I promise you, you are more powerful than you probably even have a clue. And I could go on, these little stories I just told you, I could go on. I have lists and lists that would absolutely blow your mind. One more for you, there's a show called Bar Rescue. This happened about 3 months ago, Bar Rescue. I'm looking online because I want to go find this guy, Russell. I think he's one of my favorite bartenders. I heard he's in Los Angeles. I'm going to take my girl out and go find this guy and have a drink at his bar, right? I'm looking online, can't find him. Nah, he's nowhere online, right? So, his online thing said he was in New York for some competition. So, okay, blow it off, whatever. I go down, my girl, my friend, my roommates, I'll head down, we go down to the bar over here, and lo and behold, leaning against the bar after I come out of the restroom, talking to my roommate and my girlfriend, is that guy, Russell Davis. Matter of fact, look him up, Russell Davis, Bar Rescue, is leaning on the bar. I about shirt my pants. I'm like, no way, Russell, you do not believe what just happened. So that's how powerful you can get. You just become automatic as a creator. Life starts happening, it starts flowing all around you. You don't even know how things are showing up. It's just you get so good. So step 1, crystal clear in a vision. We're here. This is how you're gonna start. This is your building blocks to go all the way to. You do this stuff, you are gonna be such a powerful creator. You're gonna blow people's minds. You're just gonna wonder, like, how do you do it? It seems effortless to how you're just able to create money and wealth and success and friendship and love and compassion. How do you do it? The life just seems to, everything just seems to work out for you. That's the power that you have within yourself, okay? So, lesson number 1, before you move on to lesson number 2, get crystal clear about your vision, write that thing out and start your visualization process. Keep it next to your bed. And that's all you gotta do to start, okay? I appreciate you. You are so powerful. You have the ability to create worlds around you. So start with this, and I'll see you on the next module. Take care, peace.